Hi everyone, I'm here with Mark Gilroy. Mark, tell us a bit about who you are and what you do.
Hi Joe, my name's Mark Gilroy. I'm from TMSDI, and for the last 15 years or so, I've been working as a professional psychology geek, particularly in the world of high performing teams, looking at organizational behavior and team dynamics. And at TMSDI, we sell a whole range of psychometric tools that have been used for the last 30 years to help build and nurture high performing teams.
Loving all of that. And what I'm also loving is that you are on a TJ Talks live video discussion with a webinar with us on Tuesday, the 10th of September. That's 12:30 UK time at lunchtime. And our topic is the anti-energizer, ideas for leading a team event without enforced fun. Now, tell us a bit more about that. Is that just from horrors that you've had in the past?
I have grown to find that the idea of an energizer or an icebreaker in a team event is a bit of a Marmite idea. Some people love them, and some people really shrink into their seats with embarrassment as soon as the idea is mentioned. So I think it would be really helpful for us to discuss, well, in what scenarios are icebreakers helpful? And in what scenarios are they a hindrance, perhaps, to helping learners really engage with what we're there to do?
Yeah. And give us an example of when you think it's inappropriate to have an icebreaker energizer, or is it just the word rather than the activity?
I think we need to look at both elements. So we can look at the word itself, and from a semantic point of view, if we're talking about breaking ice in a room, are we setting up the fact that the room is frosty and cold? And what expectations does that give of our learners? But then also, I'm sure we've all had experiences of very cringeworthy icebreakers, which are all about enforced fun. We might even have been the people who were leading those sessions. I know I've led them in the past and talked about having a bit of fun and warming the room up. I'm very happy to hold my hands up there. So we can talk about what that means, and maybe I'd be interested to hear anyone who's running experiments of not including that in a training session and what impact that's had.
And I think, we were discussing recently about the fact that you don't do so much of that. And I was saying that ironically, I'm doing more of that. So tell us about why you've moved away from that a little bit.
Well, I am an experimenter by nature. Okay, so I think I am liable to run certain social experiments, including in the training room, just to see what happens. And I remember one time I was just curious to see, well, what if we just threw out this idea entirely and replaced it with something else that was almost the antithesis of an energizer, something that was about presence and quiet, and just to see who would that appeal to and what would the impact be on the wider group. And the results that I found were really impressive, and I've since used that as a format going forward. Of course, it depends on the group, and that is something that else we can talk about on Tuesday.
Absolutely. So really looking forward to this. And as I say, it's Tuesday, 10th of September. It's 12:30 UK local time. And Mark, what are you looking forward to from the discussion from people about what they are going to bring to the session?
So I would love to hear from anybody who's brought an example of maybe horror stories from icebreakers that they've participated in or led. I think it would be good to show and tell. Equally, things that work really well. So, what do you have any in your toolkit that you always bring out that you find that always bring value to a session? Would love to hear about those and how you would facilitate those. Likewise, if anyone's in my position of maybe dispensing with the idea of icebreakers and energizers entirely, what do you do and how does it work?
Looking forward to that. That will be a great discussion, really practical, really insightful. Thank you, Mark, and we'll see you soon.
See you on Tuesday.